Hey everybody, it's the Fire Specialist here, and yesterday we got our first brand new look of the Pokemon Legends ZA Mega Dimensions DLC. And today, we're going to gloss over a couple of things, but mainly talk about the two new Mega Evolutions that were just revealed, Mega Chimecho and Mega Baxcalibur. So, the first thing I really want to first just quickly talk about is the level increase. I'm seeing a lot of people talk about this. It is big because during the trailer, you first see a Alpha Corviknight at level 120. You see an Annihilate at level like 142. And Aurorus, which is already in the main game, by the way, at level 150. And now you have here in the gameplay a wild Alolan Marowak at level 164. Apparently, the donuts that you can eat in this game and give to Hoopa, they give you level increases for a certain amount of time based on, I think, a calorie countdown. If you go watch the trailer, you'll see it more. There's like additional trailers as well too. But they give you these extra levels in, I believe, just the Mega Alternate Dimension. I don't think this is going to carry over to Champions. I don't think this is going to carry over into future games. Now, this could be something that they are trying. We've seen Game Freak try new things and move forward, expand on these things. Sword and Shield gave us a wild area, which was open field, open roaming. You weren't really locked down to a specific part until later in the game. Pokemon were higher level in other spots, so you'd have to avoid them because you couldn't even capture them. But the one generation later, we got the open world of Paldea. Here, we're seeing Pokemon now go past level 100 thanks to these donuts. Now, does that mean they'll extend the level cap in Gen 10, in Gen 11? Maybe. But I personally kind of think this should stick to the Legends franchise, the Legends saga of Pokemon. I think it fits in well here with the open battle style, the non-turn-based combat. After all, there's some other images where you see, I think, a Chimecho or a Feraligatr with like 430 some odd hit points that it would normally never get to unless it exceeded level 100. The only other time I've ever seen this, besides I think I've seen people talk about it in Masters EX, which I don't play, but in a ROM hack, actually, or a RPG Maker game, actually, Omnicron and Zeta, your Pokemon hit a max level of 120. So the fact that you're going to have to give your Pokemon these donuts to extend the level of your team while you're in here to go up against these level 164 Pokemon, level 120, possibly even a level 175 or level 200 Mega Rayquaza, by the way. I've seen that being tossed around. It's very interesting. I don't think this is going to be in Champions. I don't think it should be in the other games. I think this should be something that should stick to maybe the Legends series of Pokemon games. My opinion. Now, let's get into what we really am excited about. Not on the table for someone that probably needed a Mega when Flygon exists, but this is Mega Chimecho. It's very interesting. I could see this being a bit of an over-design. I can see the regular Chimecho doesn't really change, and then it gets like a Chingling brass feature, maybe a big bow tie on top, and then 6 mini versions of itself is what I think the description on the website says. It's very interesting. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm excited to try it. We're going to talk about stats here in a second, but I think it's going to be interesting. And with how power creep is nowadays, as you know, when we do these prediction videos, I like to predict stats, and because I see how right or wrong I am. Case in point, how wrong my Stormy prediction was, and how close my Scrafty prediction was. But I really am gonna min-max these two predictions because I think for a Pokemon like Chimecho, who was in the same boat as Malamar with no stats hitting the Hudden, needs the appropriate boost because without it or without an overpowered ability, it's gonna fall by the wayside and basically be another Mega Audino, maybe even a Mega Garchomp, just because Mega Garchomp, regular Mega Garchomp. I say that because we might get something big revealed here soon. But besides that, oh, and Karina's returning, by the way. I'm not gonna care to show that here, but just in case you're wondering, Karina, Solo Jumlia, Master of Mega Lucario, she's here too. Now, yeah, here's everything I want to talk about with Mega Chimecho. First of all, I think I just said, maybe not, its typing does change from pure Psychic to Psychic and Steel. So, similar to Metagross, similar to Bronzong, we have ourselves another Psychic Steel Mega. Chimecho's stats, Chimecho's base stats are 75 HP, 50 attack, 80 defense, 95 special attack, 90 special defense, 65 speed, with a base stat total of 455. Now, in terms of a Mega, I would like to point out the description on the video as she talked about it can release powerful sound wave attacks. It did say that while it showed off getting access to the move Boom Burst, which is a 140 power normal type attack. Very strong, but not stab. But I will come back to that here in a minute. In terms of stats, I think with it being a steel type, and looking at the design, it will get a defense boost. 75 HP is not the best, but we all know HP will not change. No Mega has HP changes except for, if you want to get technical, Zygarde 50% to Zygarde Complete. But Zygarde Complete does not gain HP when it Megas. So, technicality there, if you may. So, HP, of course, stays the same as 75. I think it will get some bulk. I think the steel frame, it could act like a defensive wall. It's probably still part of the body. But I do think both of its defenses will go up to 100. Special defense, maybe just a 10-point boost. The physical defense, definitely a 20-point boost. I think it could get a little faster. It is a Mon of Levitate, so it does have a ground immunity. So maybe it can move a little faster. I could see it moving slower. I could see it going down to base speed of 50, which could mean more into its defenses. Maybe put that 15 in its physical defense. And just so you guys can see, yes, I'm not touching the physical attack. We're not going to boost its attack when they're showing off Boom Burst. Now, if they were showing off Astonish, or if they were showing off Heavy Slam, sure. But no, we're not doing that. This is not like a Mega Dragonite situation. Its special attack, however, though, I am giving it 55 points to make it base 150. I know its stats kind of look like a Reggie right now. 100 in defenses, 50 attack, 150 special attack. I think this thing needs to be min-maxed. It does. I think special attack of 150 means it gets off a lot more damage with Psychics, Flash Cannon, stuff like that. Does it learn Thunderbolt? Honestly, I've never used Chimecho in a playthrough or really competitive. I know it gets Heal Bell. I know it gets Cosmic Power from the FFAs on Showdown. It gets Cosmic Power and Stored Power. So that's... And Recover. So, I mean, it'll have some great utility with more bulk and a lot more special attack. Maybe even don't run Cosmic Power, but run Calm Mind. Have a lot of physical defense investment. Calm Mind, Stored Power, Recover. I think that could work. In terms of abilities, honestly, if it kept Levitate, not bad. It gains the Steel typing, which means it now, instead of having weaknesses to Bug, Ghost, and Dark, it now has weaknesses to Ghost, Dark, Fire, Ground, and not fighting. So I guess it only gains one weakness in exchange for 2 more and dropping 1. Because Bug no longer is weak to it. Or Bug's no longer dealing double. But if it keeps Levitate, then it gets that immunity that Bronzong has. It would be basically, I think, a more offensive Bronzong. But I think I want to dive more into its concept of sound. The ability I created, I was trying to think if we could have a reference to Iron Maiden. That's a rock song, I think. I'm not much into rock music, besides some here and there, so maybe I'm just grasping at nothing. But, I mean, we just got the Deontay event in the game, and the event's called Shine Bright Like a Gemstone. That's a Rihanna reference, for anyone not curious. So, Iron Chimes is what I created for its Mega ability. And simply put, it's kind of like an overpowered ability like we see with Water Bubble. It has 2 different effects. Steel type moves become sound based. They're still steel types, but now they have the quality of being sound based, which means move like Flash Cannon can skip substitutes, because sound based moves are not affected by substitute. But I do think steel moves become sound-based, and it has a 1.2 power times increase. So I don't know what other moves there could be. I didn't want to give it a move that has normal become steel because it has flash cannon. But that would be a good boost for Boom Burst. I don't know if you will run Boom Burst, and I guess it would be kind of like its version of a special type of return, just good reliable damage. If they bring in a rock type, you have steel type covers. Excuse me, I have a hiccup. If they bring in a steel type, then you probably just need to switch. I don't know if it gets a fire type move, but this, I mean, you have to really... Chimecho, you have to... I mean, it's gonna... Oh, I messed up on the BST for the Mega. It's supposed to be 555, not 455. Sorry about that. I'm catching that now. It's supposed to be a base stat total of 555. But the Mega, though, it's got to be kind of min-max. We're not running mixed Mega Chimecho. We're running super offensive special attack with maybe some defensive investment. And I guess to balance it out, it's not really speedy. It's not really good for Trick Room. So you can run Trick Room, but you're not really going to get the max effect of it. And Mega number 2... not on my bingo list, especially when you got Mega High Dragon still needing a Mega. But Mega Baxcalibur. Ice and Dragon type. Keeps the Ice and Dragon typing as well. Design-wise, I kind of failed to see much of a difference. It's hunched over a bit more now. It has, like, the hilt of the sword now kind of going through it. So it almost looks like it was impaled. The sword on the back grew longer. From the side, it almost looks like a Terra symbol on the front. So that's kind of cool. It snuck that in there. But it's very interesting. This is one of 2 Ice Dragon types in the game, and it's going to get a Mega. So this is going to be a very interesting take I'm going to show you guys. Just keep in mind, everything has a cost. If you're choosing this as your Mega, or if you're choosing Chimecho as your Mega, then it has to have a good niche that's going to fulfill an important role. Because that's the cost of it being your one Mega. And here we are. So, Mega Baxcalibur has base stats of 115 HP, 145 attack, 92 defense, 75 special attack, 86 special defense, 87 speed, for a base stat total of 600, with it being, of course, a pseudo-legendary Pokemon of Paldea. Now, in terms of the Mega stats, have you ever heard of Power Creep? I've talked about it before, and I told you I'm leaning right into it. I like to see Chimecho, or I like to say Chimecho is kind of going to be like the Beedrill of this game. And Baxcalibur is going to probably be the new Mega Heracross. In this game, we got to see a Pokemon gain a special attack base stat of 216. That's Mega Zygarde complete. And Mega Heracross, for the longest time, I think had the highest attack of anything at base 185. And it's a stag beetle with a horn, puffy cheeks, and like, I don't know, pinball hands. But yet it gets an attack of 185? So, first of all, Mega Baxcalibur, I do think for it to stand out, with it being an Ice Dragon type, it has the curses of the Ice type. So, it's normally only resisted by Ice. But because it's part Dragon type, it loses the Ice resistance. In favor of course, resistance to electric, resistance to water, resistance to grass. So, I mean, that's not bad. Yeah, electric, grass, and water, I think, are the only resistances they might have. But I did go ahead and decide, let's just make it almost the same bulk as Arceus. Base 115 HP, 115 defense, 115 special defense. It will tank neutral hits decently well if they're not boosted or stuff like that. I do think, like I said, I'm going to min-max the crap out of it. We're not going to touch its special attack. This thing has a sword going through it. Why would you give it Ice Beam? Why would you give it Draco Meteor? This thing is not going to be mixed. It's not going to be special. It's going to be an all-out physical onslaught because I am giving it a base physical attack of 190. Yes, 190. I think this thing is going to be incredible on the physical side. I think it'll be the new Rampardos. I think it'll be one of the hardest hitting things. Keep in mind, you're not using a choice band. You're not using a life orb. This base 190 is going to stick. I don't remember. I think it gets towards dance. But this thing is going to hit incredibly well to where you might not even need Swords Dance. You might just need Scale Shot. Boost your speed, lower your bulk a little bit on the physical side, and then just sweep. If this is your Mega, then this has to put in work in whatever role it does. Opportunity cost and power creep. Speed, like I said, is hunched over more than the regular version. I really don't think it's going to gain much speed. If anything, it might lose speed. Maybe go down to 77. But I did decide just to pump it up to 90. Give it 3 more points. Maybe it can move around a little bit faster. Yeah, in terms of ability, again, we're kind of like with Chimecho's Levitate. I could see them keeping Thermal Exchange. It's a good ability. It gives it an immunity to fire. It boosts its attack when it gets hit by fire, which is insane when you have a base attack of 190. And then, of course, you can't be burned. When a Pokemon with base 190 cannot be burned, that means you don't lose your 190 base attack getting cut in half at all. You can switch it into Will-O-Wisps, completely immune to them. It's insane. Now, do I think this is overkill? I want you to ask that question to the people that decided to give Mega Zygarde complete 216 base special attack. Now, I will show you the other option I have. Highly doubt this is going to happen. But again, I do believe a Mega Evolution should have special niches that would make it worth it to use. Mega Beedrill with adaptability, really fast, really powerful U-turns. Mega Charizard Y with Drought. Mega Zygarde complete with that 200 base power Nihil Light. Coming out 216 base special attack. Yeah. A possible other ability, maybe a different name because I don't think it has fur. Maybe a different name for fur, but I named it Freezing Fur. After all, maybe the part that doesn't look like it's icy is fur. So then it's like a decoy type of thing. But I gave it this OP ability, Freezing Fur. When it gets hit by a contact move, 10% chance to freeze the opponent. Kind of like Flame Body. Kind of like Static. Except not 30%. I'm not Satan. 10% would be good. You want to hit this thing with a Mach Punch to outspeed because it got off 2 scale shots, and you're down to 2 Pokemon, or they have full, and if you knock out the Mega Baxcalibur, that'll still put you in a good position with your other remaining Pokemon in third 3, which you maybe having Stealth Rocks on the other side of the field. Maybe one of the 3 last Pokemon are paralyzed. You use Mach Punch, you get the KO, boom, you're frozen. Now it's basically a 1v3, and you've done lost. I think it'd be really fun. I think it will, maybe not fun, because this could honestly 1% chance to proc twice in 3 turns. You never know. Maybe the Asperberry will come back in competitive. Instead of a Lumberry, put on some Asperberries. You know how many teams run quadruple heavy duty boots? Maybe it's time to see the triple Asperberry come back. Who knows? But yeah, I think Mega Excalibur, it already has 145 attack. Like, what are you going to do besides make this thing completely busted? It's a pseudo. We already got like 5 other, maybe 4 other pseudos that have Megas. Dragonite, Tyranitar. No, we got 5. It is 5. Now this is, I think, 6. Yeah, because Goodra never got one. Alright, well, that's my take on Mega Baxcalibur. And I think it's, maybe its attack will be 160, 170. But I really do think it's time somebody eclipse Mega Heracross. Alright, well, that is it for this video. I have no idea what to do for an ending video. I was going to put an ending picture. I was going to put Mega Starmie up there, but I swear Mega Starmie is going to be living in my head rent-free for years. So yeah, enjoy Sol Volcano from Practical Jokers. But yeah, that is the video talking about Mega Chimecho, Mega Baxcalibur, and the fact that we now have Pokemon with level above 100. Again, I don't think they're going to come past Legends Arceus or Legends GA, but who knows? This could be the turning point into something even bigger that we have to adapt to. With that being said, though, thank you guys for watching. Leave me down in the comment section below what you guys think of Mega Chimecho and Mega Baxcalibur, what you guys think they could be, what you guys think of my predictions, and I will see you guys on whatever videos we do next.